There is a moment, right before something changes, when everything feels strangely still. You don't hear a warning. You don't see a sign in the sky. You just feel it. A small shift in your chest, a pause in your thoughts, like the world is holding its breath. If you're watching this right now, on this exact day, that stillness might be exactly what brought you here. Not by accident. Some people believe nothing truly finds us by accident. Not this video. Not this moment. Not the quiet feeling you've been carrying for the last few days that something in your life is about to move. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what we're about to explore might explain that feeling. August 2nd has quietly become a day that many spiritual traditions associate with redirection. Not loud, dramatic redirection, but the soft kind. The kind that doesn't announce itself. The kind that simply closes a door so gently you almost don't notice it's shut, until you realize you're already walking down a new hallway. This isn't about predicting your future. This is about noticing what may already be shifting underneath it. Because here's something worth sitting with. Not every closed door is a loss. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually timing working in your favor, even when it doesn't feel that way yet. Today, we're going to talk about 7 zodiac signs the universe may be quietly nudging in a new direction. But even if your sign isn't one of them, stay close. Because the second half of this journey is about something that belongs to everyone. The small, strange signs that show up when life is trying to speak to us in a language older than words. Let's begin. Think about the last time a plan fell apart. Maybe it was a job that didn't come through, a relationship that ended before you were ready, a move that got delayed. In the moment, it probably felt like failure. It probably felt like the universe had made a mistake. But if you look back now, is there a chance that closed door protected you from something you couldn't yet see? This is the quiet idea sitting at the center of everything we're about to explore. Not every ending is a punishment. Some endings are simply preparation. August arrives carrying a certain kind of energy, the energy of late summer, when the light starts to shift just slightly, when the days begin their slow turn toward autumn. Many spiritual traditions see this time of year as a season of quiet reckoning. Not chaos, not crisis, just clarity. August 2nd specifically has been described by some as a soft threshold, a symbolic doorway. Not because of anything provable in the sky, but because of what it seems to stir in people. A restlessness, a pull toward something unfinished, a feeling that says, it's time to choose differently. If your sleep has felt lighter than usual, if your emotions have felt closer to the surface, if you've caught yourself staring out a window, thinking about a version of your life you haven't lived yet, you are not imagining it. Something is asking you to pay attention. And for 7 zodiac signs in particular, this attention may be arriving with unusual clarity right now. Let's start with Cancer. If you were born under this sign, you already know what it feels like to carry other people's emotions like they're your own. You feel everything deeply, sometimes too deeply. And lately, that sensitivity may have felt heavier than usual, like you're absorbing a storm that isn't even yours. Here is the redirection quietly forming around you. You are being invited to protect your own peace the way you've always protected everyone else's. This might show up as a friendship that starts to feel one-sided, a family dynamic that suddenly feels unbalanced, a tiredness that sleep doesn't seem to fix. These aren't random. They may be your inner world asking you to come home to yourself. Around this time, some Cancers describe a strange pull toward their own space, wanting to be alone not out of sadness, but out of a need to finally hear their own thoughts without interruption. If that's you, don't fight it. That silence might be where your next decision is quietly forming. Now, Capricorn. You are used to carrying weight. Responsibility fits you like a second skin, and most people around you have no idea how much you actually hold. But lately, something has felt different. Maybe it's exhaustion. Maybe it's a quiet question that keeps returning. What am I actually building all of this for? This is not a crisis. This is a redirection disguised as fatigue. For many Capricorns, this period may bring a career reflection that feels overdue. Not necessarily a resignation or a dramatic exit, but an honest look at whether your current path still matches who you've become. You are not the same person who started this journey. It makes sense that the journey itself might need to shift. Watch for opportunities that don't look like what you expected success to look like. A conversation that plants an unexpected idea. A slower offer that turns out to matter more than a fast one. Your discipline has already built the foundation. Now the universe may be asking you to build something that actually feels like yours. Gemini, this one is for you. Your mind moves fast, and lately it may have felt like it's moving faster than your heart can keep up with. Too many open tabs, too many unfinished conversations, too many what-ifs circling at 2 a.m. The redirection forming around you right now is about choosing depth over distraction. You may notice certain friendships or situations losing their charm, not because anything dramatic happened, but because they no longer match the person you're becoming. That's not a loss. That's growth quietly doing its work. Some Geminis describe a strange clarity arriving out of nowhere during this time. A sudden knowing about what actually matters, cutting through weeks of mental noise. If a decision that once felt impossible suddenly feels obvious, trust that. Your mind isn't confused anymore. It's finally quiet enough to hear the truth. Scorpio, you feel this more than most. You were built for transformation, even the kind that hurts a little on the way through. And you already sense that something in you is shifting, some old identity quietly dissolving to make room for whoever you're becoming next. This redirection may not look gentle. For Scorpio, growth rarely does. It might arrive as an ending you didn't ask for, or a truth you can no longer avoid. But underneath the discomfort is something important. You are not being punished. You are being unburdened. Relationships may feel more intense right now, almost like everything hidden is rising to the surface at once. Let it rise. What Scorpio buries eventually demands to be seen, and this may be one of those moments. On the other side of this intensity is a version of you who finally feels free of something you've carried far too long. Leo, listen closely. You've spent so much energy being strong for other people, encouraging them, lifting them, showing up even when no one showed up for you the same way. And somewhere underneath that strength, there may be a quiet ache asking, when is it my turn? This redirection is about being seen, not performing, not proving, just being genuinely witnessed for who you are. Some Leos describe unexpected recognition arriving during this time, a compliment that lands deeper than expected, an opportunity that finally acknowledges the effort you've quietly put in for years. Let yourself receive it without shrinking it. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn appreciation. Sometimes it simply arrives, and all you have to do is let it in. Pisces, this may be the gentlest redirection of them all. You feel the world in colors most people can't see, and lately your dreams may have felt more vivid, more symbolic, almost like they're trying to tell you something important. Pay attention to them. For Pisces, dreams are rarely just dreams. The shift forming around you is emotional healing, quiet, private, deeply personal. You may find yourself revisiting an old memory, not to relive the pain, but to finally release it. This isn't regression. This is closure arriving in its own time. Creative inspiration may also return unexpectedly during this period, almost like your soul is remembering a part of itself it had quietly set aside. If an old passion suddenly feels alive again, that's not nostalgia. That may be your intuition gently guiding you back toward joy. And finally, Aquarius. You've always walked slightly outside the crowd, seeing the bigger picture before anyone else notices there even is one. Lately, that vision may feel sharper, a growing sense that you're meant for something different than the life you've been quietly living on autopilot. This redirection is about authenticity. Not rebellion for its own sake, but the courage to finally stop performing a version of yourself that never quite fit. Some Aquarians describe feeling pulled toward new communities, new ideas, even new causes during this time, as if life is quietly repositioning them closer to their real purpose. If you felt disconnected from people or routines that once felt comfortable, that disconnection might not be loneliness. It might be preparation for something more aligned. Even if your sign wasn't named here, this next part is for everyone. Because redirection doesn't only speak through astrology. Sometimes it speaks through small, strange moments that are easy to dismiss until they happen one too many times to ignore. Have you been seeing repeating numbers lately? 1111 on the clock, 333 on a receipt, 222 on a license plate that pulls in front of you at exactly the wrong or exactly the right moment. Many people describe these numbers as gentle nudges, quiet confirmations that they're being noticed, even guided through something they can't fully explain. Have your dreams felt unusually vivid? Not the forgettable kind that fade the second you wake up, but the kind that stay with you all day, heavy with meaning you can't quite translate. Some traditions believe dreams like these are the subconscious mind processing a shift before the conscious mind is even ready to see it. Have you had an unexpected conversation with someone, a stranger, an old friend, someone who said exactly what you needed to hear at exactly the right time? Moments like these can feel almost choreographed, like the universe borrowed someone else's voice to deliver a message meant only for you. Have you felt a sudden pull towards silence, a need to slow down, unplug, sit with your own thoughts instead of drowning them in noise? That instinct is often intuition asking for space to finally be heard. And have you noticed unexpected moments of peace arriving in the middle of uncertainty? Not because your circumstances have changed, but because something inside you has. That kind of peace, arriving before the outcome, is one of the clearest signs that you're aligning with something bigger than your fear. None of these moments guarantee a specific outcome. No coincidence can promise you a future. But many people find comfort in noticing them, in choosing to believe that they are not walking through life completely alone, even during the uncertain chapters. So where does this leave you? Maybe your sign was mentioned today, maybe it wasn't. Either way, if something in this video felt like it was speaking directly to you, that feeling matters more than any list of zodiac signs ever could. Because here's the truth beneath everything we've explored. Redirection rarely feels like magic while it's happening. It usually feels like confusion, like loss, like an ending you didn't choose and don't yet understand. It's only later, looking back, that you can see the door that closed was actually clearing a path. You don't need a perfect plan today. You don't need certainty about tomorrow. You only need one small, honest choice. To trust the quiet nudges you've been feeling instead of talking yourself out of them. Maybe that means finally resting instead of pushing through exhaustion. Maybe it means having the conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it simply means pausing tonight, sitting in silence for 5 minutes and asking yourself, what is my intuition trying to tell me that my fear keeps talking over? You already know the answer. You've probably known it for a while. Whatever August 2nd means for you, a small shift, a quiet ending, an unexpected beginning. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be to take the next step. Not the whole staircase, just the next step. If this video found you today, let it be a reminder that you are not lost, even when things feel unclear. You are simply being redirected towards something your current perspective can't fully see yet. Before you go, share your zodiac sign in the comments below and tell us, did any part of this feel like it was written just for you? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. And if this kind of reflective, symbolic content brings you peace, consider subscribing. There's more of this journey waiting for you. This video was created for spiritual reflection and entertainment. Astrology and spiritual symbolism represent personal beliefs and traditions passed down through generations. They are not scientifically proven methods for predicting future events. Whatever path you're walking, may it lead you gently toward peace. The content in this video is intended purely for spiritual reflection, self-growth inspiration, and entertainment. Zodiac interpretations, astrology, and symbolic meanings shared here are based on traditional beliefs and personal perspectives, not scientific fact. This video does not guarantee any specific outcomes or predict real-world events. Viewer discretion is advised, and any major personal, financial, or health decisions should be made with the guidance of qualified professionals.